Hello, welcome to the Heavily Altered Podcast, number 20. I'm Naimur.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Luke.
It's been a while since we've done this.
It's been about 2.5
It's
weeks,
been
3 weeks.
a day or a few days.
Since we always record them on Fridays, it's been actually exactly either 2 or 3 weeks, and in this case, I think it's
It's been
this is
3.
the third week.
Yeah,
It's been a
days.
while.
to the avid listener that I'm sure exists out
To
there.
our one listener,
Maybe. It's probably like none.
yeah, I'm not even sure if it's just me accidentally clicking the video each time.
Yeah, our views have been going lower and lower. And they were already pretty low as is, so I don't know.
Well, we only
Our
had one view
views
before,
are lower
so-
than ever.
Yeah.
As if it's like
Get in
you know,
now
like a
while you
Our
can.
views-
Yeah, exactly.
Our views are the same as ever.
I just hit the... I'm gonna
Yeah.
drink some water.
Political views. I meant.
Right, political views are
Yeah,
the
as soon as
same
we got
ever.
less political, people stopped watching us.
Okay, Namer.
That tell-
You only
that
like
tells
being
us something.
political. You only like being political so you can preach about Judaism or something.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Namer's looking very clean right now. I like the. I don't know if you had a
I
video
For
shaved
once.
today.
Okay, is that what it is? You
I
look
hate
clean.
it.
I shaved
I'm
today,
never
too.
shaving again. I'm never shaving again.
You're never shaving again.
Bro,
I don't
I
know, 'cause
shaved-
it's like I had a test today. It's my
Mhm.
pre-exam ritual. I always shave usually, but I've slowly stopped
Right.
doing that.
That's so
And
lame.
I don't like it. I look like a baby now. I don't know. I kind of like the facial hair.
Agreed.
But I'm
You
also
do look like a
not
baby.
in my healthiest state.
I like still trying to be as young as possible.
I'm not in my healthiest state right now. So like I feel
Well then,
like,
okay. Do we want to have a conversation about that? Because I've been feeling like trash the past 3 weeks.
way to make it about
I just
you,
progressively.
Daniel.
I just was opening
I'm
the
just
door
kidding.
for a conversation between
Yeah,
all of
I
us.
mean, you know,
I mean, Luke's
I-
probably feeling like the most athletic Olympic
Actually,
athlete.
I was gonna say I'm actually feeling on top of the world recently because I'm more creative than ever,
What a
and I
flex.
also just also like my life right now. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm
I don't
glad,
know.
man.
I
I'm
got
on
a
the other
job
end of
next
that right
year.
now.
I got a big job next year. I'm very proud of myself. I'm an RA next year at my college. I'm gonna bust some drugs.
Nah,
That's
he's
his
gonna make-
one job.
he's gonna
Luke
do
thinks he's a
meetings that
police
no one
officer.
shows up
He
to.
gets a junior badge on his little.
Yeah, I mean, if you become an RA, you join a lot of elite company. I saw a TikTok that was like celebrities that were RAs in college, and like Donald Glover was
Donald
one of
Glover.
them.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I could remember.
Jordan
See,
Peterson? No.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
yes.
Jordan Peterson.
No, he wasn't.
That's your
I'm
thought
totally joking.
process?
Well, he might have been, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Some other famous people.
I don't know. I've just been feeling like some of it is I have a lot of money left. Not a lot. I have a decent amount of money left on my like money card
Meal plan?
for, yeah, my meal plan. So I've been going to Chick-fil-A for dinner a lot more.
Oh,
and
I
on
eat
top of
Chick-fil-A every
that-
day. For
Yeah.
one meal, at
That
least.
well, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at now.
Well, theoretically, it shouldn't matter.
It's
It's
just
because the calorie intake. It's like I did the math. It's like usually like an 800 calorie total.
Yeah, but
meal.
calories isn't all that matters. There's also like sodium and
yeah,
stuff.
but
Shit
a
that's-
lot of it, a lot of weight loss is
Calories in,
just
calories out.
directly connected to calories.
Right, but it doesn't.
At least the
But weight
beginning.
loss isn't the only thing that matters. You also got to think about the stuff that's staying in your body.
Well, I also-
Well, sure,
I'm
like
not-
muscles, but again, I'm not.
no,
like,
not
my goal's
muscle.
not to
I'm
be-
talking about whatever bad stuff might be like preservatives.
Well, your muscles
and
go out
sodium
first and then
stuff.
the fat, so I feel like it's not
Yeah.
an all-around good thing. I mean, whatever.
Okay.
I also
Y'all
have
just
not been
ignoring
working
me.
out. I also
I
have
haven't
not
been working out either. I haven't worked out in a while, and it sucks. I hate
Aren't
it,
you guys
and I
very
hate
lazy?
myself.
Do you guys get these waves of self-consciousness?
Yes,
It's like every day.
Like-
I think the wave hits me once a
yeah,
day.
every day.
Okay. Well, when I say waves, I mean like for like weeks at a time. I'm just like constantly thinking like, oh my god, like is my shirt like messed up? Is it wrinkled? Or like is my fly down? Or is my hair messed up? And then like for a few weeks, I'm like, I don't care what other people think about me. Like I'm happy, I'm fine. And then it comes back, and then I'm like, oh my god, is my shirt all wrinkled? It's just like this cycle of like, I don't know.
I feel like for
I get
you,
very,
it might be.
but when I
it
hit
might
my
be-
low, I get very self-conscious. It's very weird.
So
Yeah,
I
go
feel
ahead.
like for you, it might be a cycle of weeks. For me, it happens every day. The cycle just occurs every day.
every
Yeah,
few seconds.
for sure.
I actually
yeah,
just switch.
every couple of seconds. Yes.
I don't know.
Sometimes
It's like
days
every
are
all I
time-
mean is like, all I mean is there's like a few weeks every once in a while where I get kind of a break and I start to feel like, oh, maybe like I'm like getting over it. and then it just hits me. It comes back gradually and gradually, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And I think I always have to hit a breaking point where I'm like, this is so unhealthy. Like, you're becoming like a vegetable in bed. It's time to like fix yourself.
I've seen that
Vegetable
happen.
an offensive term? Maybe.
No,
If it is, I'm
Daniel,
sorry.
it's a
Potato?
carrot.
Couch
It's a
potato?
carrot.
I'll use couch potato. That's what
Potatoes
I
are
meant.
vegetables.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like.
Are they?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't
yes.
think they technically count as vegetables.
They are. They're roots.
All right, let's have a discussion about this. This debate
I think
time.
they're.
No, I'm
I
just
will
kidding.
Google it. I don't think they actually are.
They
Go ahead and say
certainly
what you were
are
gonna say,
vegetables.
we
Potatoes
were
are
cutting off
vegetables.
Naimur. I think Naimur was gonna.
No,
say.
Daniel,
No, but
they're
potatoes are
fungi.
vegetables.
Potatoes, yeah, they are vegetables.
I'm pretty sure they're vegetables.
I think they're fruit and they don't have
Potatoes?
seeds. They don't have seeds. And they're not fungi, first of all. Second of all,
Yeah,
they're
what,
not animals.
wait, what constitutes a vegetable versus a fruit?
No seeds. Underground.
Because the way
Is
we
it
were taught
underground?
them,
Cabbage isn't underground. Or
Oh,
whatever,
the way-
lettuce or whatever. Don't
the
they
way
grow
we were
above ground?
taught in elementary school was just like, you just feel. You gotta feel for it. Like an apple, that just feels like fruit, so it's a fruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just all it is. Like, you just gotta feel for that stuff. It's like I was never given like empirical information on what is a fruit and what's a vegetable. I just have.
Well, I
a
know
feeling.
fruits always have seeds.
Okay, so
That's
I
what I
googled
know.
the definition of a vegetable, and it says a person with a dull or inactive life.
That's not right.
I
That's
knew you were gonna say something. I was gonna be like you.
Yeah. That's actually the second definition, though. Like,
well,
I'm not even
obviously,
joking. I
because the
didn't
first
make that.
definition is the regular
Yeah,
definition.
vegetative state.
But it's not very specific. At least the Google one isn't. It's just like a part of a plant that humans eat, typically with meat or fish. Like, okay, thanks for the very generic answer there.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that does make sense. Because
Meat
A
and
vegetable-
potatoes,
no.
meat and fruit and vegetable.
Okay,
what
look,
do you
a
eat fruit
vegetable
with?
is part of a plant. A vegetable is part of a plant, while a
Right.
fruit grows off of a plant.
Oh. Vegetable is the plant.
So if I took the potato out of the potato plant,
Mhm.
the plant wouldn't be able to grow anymore. But if I took the tomato off
Yes.
of the tomato
Yes.
flower, then it could still
Exactly.
grow. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
So
exactly.
what is
Also, would a fruit be able to grow on Mars? I mean, we
Well, it
watched the
depends.
Martian.
with enough? That's such a broad question. Like with enough terraforming, yes.
We watched the Martian.
Well, in the right atmosphere, it definitely could. Just depends on where on Mars you're growing it and if there are man-made things around it.
I love how we were talking about like self-help, or not self-help, but like more so like how like we're not feeling 110%. And now we're just
Mhm.
delving. It's I feel like that's like boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially talk
This is
about
how we handle our
serious things.
emotions, right?
Yeah,
You
and
just
then you
dive
just
So
into
guys,
one topic.
I have some pretty big news.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I got diagnosed with AIDS.
No, you didn't. I don't know, Luke. I was trying to like shut it down before I laughed, but I couldn't. I was like,
Man, that's the humor now.
why did you start out with I've got some good news? I think that's what did it for me. I've got some good news, guys.
AIDS is always good news
I had AIDS.
I just blame the government, honestly.
for
I
AIDS.
wonder has anyone tried to speedrun AIDS?
You're
Speedrun
so
AIDS.
horrible. That's so
Yeah, it's called going
Like
to
they
a
get
movie
HIV.
theater.
No. They
in
get
1980.
HIV and then immediately.
They use
try
the
and get
HIV
AIDS.
glitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, wall jumps, glitches.
Yeah.
2
wall
times
jumps.
speed,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It's got to be
I was
frame
thinking-
perfect and stuff.
Apparently, they're making a Last of Us 1 remake, which is interesting. I
In
don't know
real
why.
life or in a game?
Are they just making the graphics better?
No, yeah,
Is that all?
they're actually remaking it in real life. So they're not actually remaking it; they're making it in real life.
So they're
what
actually
gonna
they're just making an
is-
amusement park exactly like the game.
So they're Jurassic Parking the ants that have cordyceps, and then making it into a human virus.
So what they're
Oh
actually
my
doing
God.
is they're taking those ants, they're infecting real humans, and then they
Mhm.
just start an actual global pandemic, which is kind of ironic because
Right.
we're in one right now.
Well, this is just a
You'd
beta
think that would
test,
be
right?
that'd be a poor
Yeah.
timing.
This is just a beta
Cordyceps
test.
1.5 alpha.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I don't know why they all think it's a virus, but I don't know.
Yeah. Can't trust the science. Did you guys see that thing about it? The people who say I trust the science are the people that don't know what the science is.
Yes.
Yeah, they trust the
I
math.
did see that.
Or they don't. I don't know. It's so dumb.
No, they
though.
just trust they trust what they read on these sketchy internet websites.
So like the likelihood of you dying from COVID
Daniel, when
is
you told
probably
me that, when you told me that, Daniel, I thought you were talking about the scientific method. How you're not actually supposed to trust science. You're supposed to.
Oh no, I'm talking about the right wing like conservatives who are like, well, I trust the science, and it's like they're trusting this like random article on the internet that says COVID doesn't kill, like,
what doesn't make sense
anyone.
Is that people are more concerned. So like, what is the death rate for COVID? It's like 1%, right? Like 1.2%, something like that.
85%.
I think it's 1 to 2%. It's not okay. I should say that might be an exaggeration. So let me just figure it out because it might be 1 out of every 1,000.
1 out of every 2.
So basically, there are more people willing. So they're thinking about the numbers game, right? So instead of just getting a vaccine, like on my For You page, sometimes it shows like on TikTok, it shows like it's like this person got the COVID vaccine and everything went wrong, and like they got some disease, yada yada, or like somebody's like, what do you call it? In the like during the testing phase when they were still testing the vaccine, it said that apparently like 4 out of like 40,000 test subjects were administered the vaccine, and they got like some type of muscular dystrophy or something, where effectively like their face like got stuck in like a certain angle for like 48 hours.
But then also the rate of that is also
like natural equal to the rate of the population.
Equal to the rate
in the regular population.
Yeah, and so
which
people are like,
no significant.
Yeah, people in the comments be like, yeah, I'm not getting the vaccine. I don't want to do that. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, so you if you're gonna play it from a chance game, right? So you're worried about that happening to you. There is more likelihood of you dying by not getting the vaccine, like dying, like your life ending, which is probably why you're scared of getting the vaccine, because you're afraid you're gonna get something that will shorten or make your life worse. But your life will end. You have more of a chance of your life ending if you just don't have the vaccine and you get COVID than just getting the vaccine and not dying from COVID and just getting like some other thing. And not only like the chance of getting that thing is like 100 times less likely. Makes no sense to me. Literally doesn't make any sense.
It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. These people are just dumb. And like,
because that was the excuse. That was like, oh my god, COVID only kills
I just did the math.
1% of the population. Like, why do we care?
Oh, I just remembered. I just did the math. I remember why I thought it was like 0.1%. So if you just again, this is a very rough way to calculate it. This isn't how they actually calculate it. But if you divide the number of deaths in the U.S. by the number of total cases, you get 0.01. Right now, most people would be like, "Oh, I saw people saying the death rate for COVID is only 0.01%," and it's like, you don't know how to calculate math. You have to multiply times 100. So it's 1%, 1.7. Right? So it's almost 2%.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
that is scarier. I think that number like jumps out. Like I know it's still like 1 to 2 out of 100. That's still a lot. Like I think it's 1 in 50 die on the way to Mount Everest.
500,000 people as of right now.
That is like. It's actually 50.
Well, just do the math about the United States, right? There's like what 380 million people in the U.S. population.
Yeah, roughly 300 million.
That's like 3.8 million people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, if everyone got it, 3.8 million people would just be dead. Well, no, whatever we said, 3 million or whatever, something like that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's even now, like everyone knows someone that has died
from COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you not know it's like dangerous from just that?
You know, it's actually 560 in the United States. You were thinking of Texas.
560?
Only 50,000 have died in Texas. Only. But
you're right. No. I was only looking at... Oh, damn it. I mean...
You idiot.
That's fine.
Idiot.
Idiot. Wow, how dare you. How dare you.
So change your major right now.
I'll calculate it again. I'll calculate it again.
Math boy. I love when Daniel asks me to do basic math problems in my head, because it always makes me laugh. Because I'm literally
it's 1 point. It's I did now the total U.S. like all states, and it's 1.8%. fatality.
So it's slightly more.
So move
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Texas. Move to Texas. Less people with COVID die in
Yeah,
Texas.
move to Texas, and technically less people die by like point
A
1%.
tenth of a percent.
Yeah, a tenth of a percent. So I mean, not really doing. Actually, it's less than that because it was 1.77 in Texas. So it's really 0.03 of a percent. So you're
People
not
are
really.
just- It's unfortunate.
Dude,
What are you gonna do?
It upset me so much though when people were literally going around saying, "Oh yeah, it's only like 1 out of 1,000. Wait, 100. 1 out of 10,000 die." I'm like, I don't think that's right. And I divided the numbers, and I was like, oh my god, these people don't know how to do basic math, and it angered me. But like, you can't do anything because all this misinformation just spreads. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know?
Cherry picking. Oh well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
down
Daniel
on the
is cherry
topic.
picking here.
Let's try and change it. Let's try and change it a little
Wait, sorry. Did we just get political?
Do we just get political?
bit. Speaks about a virus.
That's it. The
Gets
podcast is
political.
over.
Yeah, and
Huh?
this was all stemmed from Last of Us.
Are you
It's so
talking
hard
to me?
not to get
Remake.
political these days, right?
Everything is
Oh yeah, it
politics.
did stem from that.
Yeah.
Everything is
Anyway, back to the
politics.
Last of Us thing. Interesting. I just saw it this
Mm.
morning. I was like, oh, that's cool. Is it? I don't know. Because I feel like the game still holds up pretty well. Like, you just play it normally, and like maybe the graphics are slightly dated. I mean, they were pretty good for the time. I feel like they still
Right.
hold up
I've seen it.
decently.
I've seen it recently. They're not that great compared to The Last of Us 2, but what am I
Obviously.
supposed to expect? Like,
Last of Us
yeah,
Part 2 is like
exactly,
probably
that's
one
my-
of the best looking games of all time.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, how would I compare it to that? You know, so it's
Yeah, exactly. So if they want to make a remake, sure, whatever. I'll probably get it. Knowing me, I don't care about my
you
money
have
whatsoever.
impulse. You have buyer's impulse.
Buyer's impulse. I bought Red Dead 2 on the PS4, even though I already owned it on the PS4 on the Xbox One.
I want to say,
is
I
so
want to reiterate
silly.
this. I want to
Yeah.
reiterate this. Red Dead 2 looks fantastic on the
That
Xbox
too?
Series X.
Oh,
It looks
Mhm. I don't
amazing.
know.
It
I
looks
wouldn't know.
amazing on the Series X.
I
Anyway.
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
I would, because I'm rich.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I love that.
you play the game of
Unfortunately,
capitalism.
yeah, we're putting money into the wrong hands.
Yeah, little Irish
Luke,
boy.
when we have a wealth tax, we'll make sure you are the first one to
Hell
No,
pay.
the wealth tax just for Luke. We're gonna lobby to Congress, where one part of it is if your name is Luke Brady, you have to give up your Xbox.
You have to
Series
be
X.
taxed.
You have
That's
to give
taxed.
your no, but you're taxed in Xbox Series X's.
You have to give one
And
point.
it's a one-time tax.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's like 1.2 Series X's a year. So you gotta
Point
you
two.
gotta like cut a fifth of a Series X and go send it to
Hey,
the
but then I
government.
could just buy one Series X and that'll last me 5 years.
What?
But then I also have to keep on
No,
buying
it
other
wouldn't
Series
last
X's
you
every year.
5 years.
Yeah, it would.
It would last you part of 5 years.
No. Look. If I buy one Series
He's
X
saying
and I
you can
use
keep
that,
cutting it up.
yeah, I can
Yeah,
keep cutting
but you
that
still
one
have to
up.
buy
That one would
another
last
one
me
on
5
top
years.
of it.
No,
Yeah,
I
you do have
would.
to
I
buy-
would,
yeah.
but I wouldn't
Oh
have
my
to buy
God.
2 every
Luke,
year.
Luke,
But I
you're
wouldn't have to
stretching
buy
your
2 every year.
Luke, you're stretching your shirt out so much, dude.
Yeah, you'd have
But
to
I
buy
wouldn't have to
6
buy-
in 5 years.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I wouldn't have to buy 10 in
So
5
if
years.
if you didn't want to buy one if you didn't want to have to buy an Xbox
Mhm.
Series X every year for 5 years, 5 times 1.2 is that 6 total Xbox? So you just get
Namer
6?
just said it was 6. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Well,
wasn't listening.
Great
I was
job,
focusing
Daniel.
on
Great
you.
job.
I was distracted.
Great job
by you
undermining
literally
the
stretching
minority.
Your shirt.
Great job
Six and
undermining
5
the
years.
minority, Daniel.
Okay, I'm gonna
Racist.
apologize, Namer.
Yeah, we've also
Racist.
denied your
I'm sorry I
credibility
talked
already.
over you.
We know you're not good at math. You've proven that quite clearly today. So
I did.
Yeah.
I
the
don't know
math.
why you're even trying to ship
How
in.
did I prove?
Okay,
it
Daniel,
wrong?
listen.
You-
What's 515 plus 3?
What? No, stop. Anyway,
550.
like, no, stop. Don't encourage him. Stop. Stop. Stop it.
550.
No, stop. Why are you encouraging him?
16?
517.
17?
Is it 518?
Yeah!
Now I
See,
know
I can
why
do
we
math.
didn't have a podcast for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Daniel was
We've
doing,
been
Daniel was
slowly
doing his
losing our
homework.
mind.
Oh, yeah, the
doing
reason
my
why we
homework.
didn't actually have a podcast for the last 3 weeks, I forgot my mic. I left it at my home, like my family home. So,
He
Yeah.
forgot his mic.
oh, I didn't forget it. I purposely left it. I told them.
Oh,
I
yeah,
asked
no.
them- I asked them, hey, yo, like, do y'all even want to film a podcast these next couple of weeks? And they were like, nah.
I was
'Cause,
like,
you know,
I
we
could
don't
use
really,
a break.
we didn't really care about our.
But
friends.
I thought it was gonna be a week off.
Well, I was
and
gonna
then
leave
you
last
back.
weekend. I was gonna leave last weekend.
Yeah,
And
and then you
then
didn't.
I just
So that,
figured
I
it'd
mean,
be
it was
better to
fine.
leave
I
this
got
weekend.
extra time off.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though, because then I was like, okay, well then we're not doing it that weekend. And then we texted earlier this week, and you're like, yeah, it depends on if I do my physics test. And I'm like, sounds like the podcast might not get filmed this month.
No,
I
we
just
would've
thought it was
filmed
funny.
it. I don't know if we would have filmed it today, but we would have filmed it.
Right.
No, because I was gonna be depressed if it ended up bad. Didn't end up bad. It ended up better than expectations, but not
He had
great.
a test today. I don't
Better
know if
than
you already said
expectations.
No, because the last one that was like probably my worst test I've ever done.
Mm.
Yeah,
You know the worst
yeah.
test I've ever
Somehow-
done?
that.
In
Somehow he
college.
managed to get lower
Okay.
than if you just randomly choose on multiple choice.
No, it wasn't that.
I'm joking.
But the curve helped me, I guess. It is so interesting
Debatable.
though. Like some people, they just like in the group chat of like some classes. So I'm taking like calculus 2, and
Right.
like I take a test, right? It's not too bad. Like especially like, I feel like I'm pretty decent at calculus. I did take AB in high school, so I wasn't like that bad at it.
Mhm.
And so I got to have a refresh again, and then calc 2. And so like on the first test I got 100, and then like they do like. They're like, yo, like that was so hard. Like, oh my god, I'm panicking about this. That like, was that really that bad?
Right.
Like sometimes I don't know
Well, it
if
is
I'm
for
just
some
like,
people.
no, like I don't know if
Mhm.
the majority is having difficulty though. That especially in
Mhm.
engineering, like I don't know because sometimes I'm like, this is like kind of easy. Like, is this
You guys
supposed to
use
be this easy?
Blackboard, is that correct?
We use both. Canvas
Okay,
and
Canvas
Blackboard.
literally will tell you if you use the iPhone, or it's not the iPhone. If
Oh
you
yeah,
use
it tells you like
app,
the mean. Right?
It'll tell
And,
you
like,
the mean.
Yeah.
It'll tell you the highest score and the lowest score as well.
Yeah, but I don't
So
know.
that's
like,
crazy.
Some of
what
my
is the
assignments, the
most, you
high
know
is
what
a
I mean?
78. So I panic when I have like a 76, and then I'm like, oh, good. The high is like an 83 or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
usually the high is the high. So I'm like, so how many people are usually getting like low? I want to know. So I can
A
have that
dozen.
supremacy of knowledge.
So
against somebody.
here's what you do: take the number of people you have in your class,
And I'm not doing that.
and
so
then
it-
just spread them out over that little bar from low to high. There's your answer.
I'm not doing
Just make a
that.
little bell curve based on all of their grades. So you gotta figure out the grades.
Yeah.
And then make the bell
Actually,
curve.
Luke's probably right with that. If you just did a bell curve, there's your answer. Most people are clumped towards the average.
Oh, really? I had no clue. Really? I had no clue.
Shut
That's
up,
not how.
Naimur.
That's not necessarily how averages work. You could have 100 zeros and 100 ones.
That's how
and
distribution
your average
works.
would be 0.5.
In grades, usually.
Yes.
And history.
Hey, well,
just
do you know?
popular
Y'all
how
know?
that works?
Y'all know the law of big numbers is it says that like the more
Stonks
the
must go
bigger
up.
of a sample, no, the bigger of an experimental population that you have, the more the closer, like, if you had an expected rate, the closer the actual rate will be.
Right.
You know.
And
As
the law
expected.
of big numbers also say
As
stonk.
expected. Do you get
As
it?
expected.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's the expected. Oh, okay.
And then the law of big numbers also state that stonks must go up no matter what. It's just fact.
To the moon.
Stonks go up. Stonks go up.
Yeah, they never go down. It's a fact.
Mm.
I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my advice. Anyway,
You are.
this is not advice in any way.
Naimur,
Don't take it.
you
They're
should
gonna
have.
to put a
Naimur, you should have been
disclaimer at the
thinking
beginning
about
of
that.
the video.
You
Do not
should've-
take any
Naimur,
financial. Go ahead.
You should have thought about that before you went on a 45-minute rant about stocks in another podcast.
Didn't I? I did
Just
say
a
that. Though.
thought.
I was like, I'm not a financial advisor. I just think it's.
But you
interesting.
I don't know
weren't-
if you said you're
you
not a
said it.
financial-
You said it, but you weren't thinking about
Well, I
it.
never told anyone like, hey, this is like the best thing.
He was actually kind of warning them against it, if anything.
Yeah, I was
He
like,
saying,
don't do
maybe
this.
don't. If you're
Yeah,
wondering,
I'm
what we're
still
talking
waiting
about-
for.
Did we ever post that? I don't know if we ever did.
Yeah, the Game Stonk one. I'm pretty sure
Game
we did.
Stonk. Stonk.
Gamus Stonkus.
Did you watch the Big
honestly-
Short that weekend?
No,
I'm
I didn't.
honestly
It's not even
fine.
on a streaming. If it was, dude, what a missed opportunity to not put that on streaming services.
Yeah.
Like,
right,
nobody's
exactly.
gonna
They should've
rent
put
it
it on-
off Amazon.
They should have put it on
Community Bill.
GameStop.
Yeah, just the website. Go watch it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't think we posted it.
Oh, we did.
Okay, I'm honestly
cares?
fine not
It's-
posting that one.
I'm not gonna explain it again. Who cares?
No, we're not going to talk
Yeah.
about it again.
We're not going to ask you to.
Okay, now that
I
you
was
told me
going to
that we're not gonna
reference
talk
it
about
if
it,
they-
I kind of want to talk about it now.
No.
Okay.
Let's talk
You know
about
what
things
I
we
want to
watched.
talk about?
Okay,
Things we
go
Oh yeah,
watched.
I've watched a lot.
What
of
did we
stuff.
watch this week,
I've
Daniel?
watched a lot of stuff.
We-
I've watched a lot of
we
stuff.
watched
this
a
week.
really
Ooh,
good
that
movie.
was good. That was a really good movie.
What'd you watch? I didn't hear you.
We watched The Assistant. It's basically about fake Harvey Weinstein's assistant. It was fantastic.
That's
It
a
was
weird
really good movie.
description. You follow
But it's an
one
accurate
assist-
description.
Yes, you follow one assistant for an entire day, like this female assistant, to an executive director or an
Mhm.
executive position in what seems to be a production company, and like her life is like, it's so uncomfortable to watch what she has to deal with on a daily basis.
Excuse
It's
my
not a
language.
documentary.
Her job. Excuse me, language. Her job is very poopy.
Excuse my language. Her job is very not nice. People are very mean to her. Yeah, it was
really good.
Yeah, it's
You know,
very.
it was.
Not a lot of
It's
people.
kind of sad at the end. It kind of is.
Yeah,
Like you get to the end and
kinda
you're like,
is.
man, this is depressing.
I've never
Like,
seen
it's
this much
helpless.
disparity in a film. 92% Rotten Tomato score, like critic score.
I saw that too.
25%
and then
audience
Google-
score. That's very surprising.
Did you see
It's
what the
usually
Google
opposite.
rating? Did you see what the Google rating was?
Yeah, 41%
Google was like,
of Google users.
Yeah, I was like, what? How does it go from 92% to like Google just rates it at a 41%? I think people hated it because it seems like feminist propaganda because it's like, oh,
I think a lot of people hated it because it was slow. You know,
it's a
lot of people.
It's slow. It is slow, and it's an accurate depiction of like what women actually go through. So it's
Yeah, I also
can't say
think a
that.
lot of
I
Wait,
can't
wait,
say
wait.
that,
I
but
found
people
I found
have
a
said-
review. I found a review. Can I read it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on
ahead.
Google. He gave it a 1 star. A study
Okay.
of a boring day at the office where nothing really happens unless you're interested in washing up, photocopying, and answering the telephone. A complete waste of time where the directors
Damn.
slash writers slash actors slash producers have colluded in making a film that bores the audience right unless you belong to the 1% of the 1%. Me Too
Dang.
slash SJW crowd.
There
Yeah.
it is.
No, like
That's
the 1%
exactly
of
what
the
I.
1%.
That's exactly what I thought it was gonna be. It's just people who are upset that the movie like tackles like, I don't know.
It actually
It's
makes
just
Ed
women
Wood's
face
films look like epic filmmaking. Written and directed by SJWs, avoid at all costs for your mental health. If any more evidence is needed that the filmmaking industry is packed out with talentless losers who've completely lost the art of filmmaking, then look no further, my intrepid searcher, because you struck the mother lode. I will never get that time back. Dang.
It's people. It's
There's a male that wrote that, obviously.
yes.
Yes.
I mean, it's a good
Obviously.
Yeah. I don't think you needed to state it, but my camera's doing weird
Yeah.
things. Did you guys see that?
No, it did not.
Uh,
say
I'm
that.
going
did
into
not
the
see it.
Matrix. I'm going into the Matrix.
That's interesting. I'll give it a gander, maybe one day.
It was actually really good.
It's actually really entertaining if you're interested in those slow burn movies that kind of just, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
started. So I rewatched Atlanta for like the third or fourth time. Good.
Mhm.
It was really good again. You know, I'm on that Donald Glover kick because they started. Apparently, they're filming season 3 now. He like.
yes.
It was pretty cool, that photo. I don't like what phone is he taking that photo on? If you guys don't know, Childish Gambino or Donald Glover posted like a photo of him and the crew, like from
Mhm.
the point of view, like
Mhm.
pretend you had an iPhone and like you're taking a photo on a like old Nokia phone, and then that's the photo he posted, and it's just like why? And then like he posted like yesterday for Atlanta Day 3 or season 3 Day 3. Like it was a video on that phone, and it's so pixely. It's so, I'm like, why? Like why? I don't know.
Right.
It's cool though.
It's not-
Yeah.
Oh, it would be in screenshots.
It's cool though.
Uh,
So
I'm
I'm excited.
looking
I'm
for
very
the
excited
picture.
for that.
I was gonna say I wonder if it's a screenshot from a live stream.
No,
Because
it's
sometimes they'll do like a short Instagram live stream and then they'll like go back and screenshot.
nah.
one thing
It's
from
probably
it
like
and then-
it's definitely like a cast photo. So
Mm.
I'm excited. I'm very excited because he also said like the last two because I think it's gonna be 4 seasons total. Like the next 2 seasons are gonna be the last.
That's what they said, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, he apparently signed like a multi-million-dollar deal with Amazon, so he's probably gonna do stuff afterwards because he's on FX right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he basically said that the next 2 seasons of Atlanta are gonna be like the level of The Sopranos. So Sopranos is apparently really good.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
That's
that's
an
what I'm gonna
interesting
probably watch. After.
Choice of like comparison, but I'm excited to see
Like the
what that
level of The
means.
Sopranos. Yeah. And then
Honestly, given the last episode of season 2,
it prepares up.
I would say that's an accurate comparison as far as what I know about The Sopranos.
It seems like it
I'm
could
looking
be
forward to
interesting where they take it. That's
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting because they're filming in Europe right now. Because I know part of it's gonna take place in Europe, if all of it
Right.
in season 3. So we'll see what it's gonna be like. I'm curious if they're gonna film in Georgia, especially with all that
Wait,
stuff that's been
Atlanta's
happening.
gonna film in Europe? That's not in Atlanta.
What, you've never heard of Atlanta, Georgia? Like the country Georgia? What do you think they named
it'd
the
actually
city
be-
after?
It'd be really funny if they actually filmed in Georgia,
In
the
Georgia.
country.
Ugh.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. And then, like on top of that, he's gonna release an album, and he says that's gonna be like his best album yet. So I don't know.
I thought he was done
think,
with music.
Yeah, I thought he was.
I think he's done with the Childish Gambino moniker. I think he's just gonna do stuff with a
Oh.
different moniker
Okay.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe that's like his
he's-
era of music.
I think he
style.
also might have
Mhm.
said he wanted to do more producing or something. I'm not exactly sure. But
maybe yeah for sure. I
don't
think
know. There's a
no,
lot of
I've-
artists that like they move away from like the mainstream like view where they're like a character and they become just like behind the scenes
Mm.
producer and
well, it's so interesting because I'm watching him on like Community. Like I'm rewatching Community just for fun. It's just a show. It's like comfort.
so
food.
you're really hitting all of the like good
yeah,
shows.
it's just so weird to me that dude is the same dude that's in Atlanta. It's so
Mhm.
weird,
I know.
genuinely.
He
I
just
can't.
Because he
Wait,
was so
such a-
fit in Community. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason. No,
yeah,
it's just
that's
like
what,
his
that's the
animated-
weird thing.
His animatedness
Yeah.
and just everything's so different. It's so crazy. It's like
I know. I've experienced that too when I was first watching Community. Just because it's
It's like
such a
whip.
different
You get
character.
whiplash from it, right?
Yeah,
you're, like,
and he
you're
plays
seeing
them
him as,
both.
like, so
he plays
well.
them
Also
both
pretty young.
super fantastically.
he's
yeah.
pretty young in Community. He was like in his early 20s in Community, and now he's like in his
Mhm.
30s.
50,
That's crazy.
60.
And he has kids now. He has like 3 kids. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's insane.
Wait, I thought
Truly
Earnhardt
insane.
only had one kid.
Shut up. I hate you.
I was gonna say I watched this YouTube series about these guys who basically I told Daniel they traveled across Europe from like somewhere in Switzerland to somewhere in like Latvia or something. I don't remember. But basically they weren't allowed they had these challenges. They weren't allowed to pay for public transportation. They weren't allowed to pay for like housing, and they were allowed to pay for food. So they had to rely basically on people giving them rides and giving them places to stay. It was really heartwarming, to be honest. And I
Mhm.
want to
'Cause
try
you get to
something
see
like
all these
it.
people helping.
It was
Yeah.
kind of like that movie
Yeah.
A Dollar a Day. I remember having to watch that for Spanish. class.
Yes.
You guys remember?
Yeah,
that?
it's
I
similar
had
to
to
that.
watch
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very powerful story.
It's a good
too.
movie.
Yeah.
For people who don't know what that one's about, that one is
Kind of
basically
the title.
a group of documentarians like decide to. It's not exactly a dollar a day, but they basically a dollar a day is considered the poverty line, and they go and prove like what is it actually like to live below the poverty. So they give themselves.
Well, I thought
these
I didn't know it
rules.
was a poverty line, but I thought that was just what the average income in that area of South America was.
It might have been.
Maybe.
Yeah, and
I'm not
then
100% sure.
They
but
weren't
yeah,
obviously
basically
given a dollar a
they-
day. They did like rolls
Mhm.
at the end of the week, where it'd be like, oh, like
How much did you
depending on the
make this
roll,
day?
did you make
Or,
that
yeah.
week, or do you get to spend this
Mhm.
week, right? Because
Right.
you don't necessarily know what you're gonna get paid, and so
Right.
sometimes
Mhm.
they're like, dude, like we've only been able to live off $1 a week for like the past week. Like,
yeah, like if we get another roll, a bad roll, like because they
Like,
do
I
like
don't
a
know
dice
what's
roll
gonna
or pull
happen.
out of a hat, they're like, if we get another $1, like we can only spend a dollar in the next week. Like we might
Mhm.
like have to like quit. Like we won't have enough
Mhm.
food to survive. Which it's just crazy and yeah.
It's a good movie, and it's a great message. I think it's really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think it truly understands what people are.
And then
going
like the community comes together and like helps them. Like they have some guy come teach them how to like properly plant the things that the food that they're gonna eat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they explained to them what like microfinancing works. It was so interesting
Mm-hmm.
to me. Like, I think that's generally
Mhm.
a good idea. That could help so many
Yeah.
developing nations. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that too is good. Not to take away from what Luke was watching.
Did I
Yeah.
ever talk about my octopus teacher?
No.
I've
That is
heard
a
about
very
it.
powerful story. That I would suggest that I probably already talked about it before,
Oh,
but I would
not
suggest
your
that.
octopus teacher. The movie is called My Octopus Teacher. Oh my
God,
god.
never.
Oh, okay. I get
That's
it.
the worst.
Okay.
I hate that. Yeah, I would
get it.
recommend that documentary a lot. It was very powerful. It's a very interesting.
Mhm. Yeah.
Man, I was gonna
I've finished
say-
Breaking Bad. Second rewatching. Good.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
Always. It's
What
pretty
happened
You know
at
what's
the end?
funny?
You know what's
Did
weird?
you ask what happened at the end?
So you know the episode Ozymandias, right? Like arguably
Yeah.
like the best
Are
episode.
you
of
gonna
the show.
spoil something?
No, no.
Okay.
You know who it's directed by? That
Hmm.
episode?
Me.
Ryan
The
Johnson.
Russo brothers. Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's genuinely a fantastic director.
No, but he's directed multiple games or multiple what do you call it? Breaking Bad
Yeah.
episodes. But it's interesting
Right.
that he's done like the best one out there.
Again, because he's genuinely a really good director.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I
Yeah,
like
you
Knives
know,
Out.
I think my favorite
I'm just saying
films
it's not
from him,
surprising,
my
in
favorite
my
films
opinion.
from him, Knives Out and
And Ozymandias.
I liked Last Jedi. honestly.
And The Last Jedi.
I did
I don't hate
too.
it
I
that
like
I don't
the
have any
sequel
issues with
trilogy. I like the sequel trilogy.
I was gonna
just
make a
because
joke about it, but then I was like, I like it. Go ahead.
I think it's.
I've
solid
talked about
movie.
this before. I've talked about this before. I just like things. So like, I like the sequel trilogy. I know a ton of people don't. I know a ton of people hate it. I don't
And
like
We
the
all, I
ending-
think we
aspects
all
of
have
it.
the same opinion here.
No,
I think
yeah,
the ending
but I don't like
made Last Jedi 100 times worse because like Rise of Skywalker,
the ending
because-
of the Last Jedi or the ending of the Rise of Skywalker.
like the movie itself, because it was basically trying to, it's basically trying to do
The ending
damage
of the
control.
trilogy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it was
Yeah,
basically
I
trying to
agree
do
with you.
damage
I do
control
agree
to
with
try
you,
and
yeah.
fix every liberty they took in Last Jedi, which I think made it 10 times worse. Like I think they would have been better off if they just stuck with everything Last Jedi had done.
really just wish-
It didn't take me out that much because it was literally
No,
like,
but, like,
oh, they.
She's a Palpatine.
Yeah, see, it took
Like,
me
you know,
out.
and
It took
stuff
me
like
out
that.
one time.
Spoiler,
It took me
I
out
guess.
once when I was watching the Rise of Skywalker, and that was when I realized that Rose was not in the movie at all.
Oh, yeah,
I
she
noticed that, and I was
wasn't.
like, "Wait,
Yeah.
what happened? What happened to her?"
I want to say the reason it didn't take me out and the reason I actually like I'm okay with it is because just narratively, I love the intensity of like finding out like she's a Palpatine.
Yeah,
I
for,
don't
like,
think
a
we need
second.
a spoiler warning, right? We don't need a
Yeah,
spoiler
for like
warning.
a second,
But,
and
like,
then I'm
no,
like,
just even-
oh, but like,
No, okay, but
Really?
not just that. Like, but then she has to go fight her own grandfather. Like, and it's like that
but
whole
it's
like
so
thing where it's like,
unearned because you think Palpatine's
I
dead.
Again,
see. I
and
do
then
kind
on
of
top
agree
of
with
that-
you.
I 100% agree. But the fight was so cool that I'm like, I can't.
Don't even remember the fight. I just remember them kissing at the end.
How do you not remember the fight?
Mwah, mwah.
The
Look,
fight is so cool, dude. Literally, I'm sorry. The most exciting.
I just remember all the jets coming in. They're like, "We're almost down." Like, you know
Yes.
how in every every
Yeah.
fight scene, there's like a point where they think they're gonna lose. Like, we're not.
And
We
then they
can't
always-
take this anymore. And then boom.
And then all of these, like, ships
yeah.
come in, yeah.
Boosh, 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 boosh. And it's like,
and
we're
then
here to
and then
help.
the Falcon says on your left, and all the portals start opening up, and
See, that's what I was about to say. Two of the biggest, most exciting things I've gotten to see in theaters. One, Avengers Endgame.
Oh, dude, that's like a night
That
and
was
day
so
comparison.
exciting. Okay,
we
but
watched
yeah, it's
both
but
of
that's
them.
so much.
I don't
that's
think
just
so.
much,
I
like,
think they're
thrown
both.
together.
I think both scenes are a little cringe. I think that scene in Endgame is a
Oh,
little
for
cringe,
sure.
and I think
No,
the scene
I
where
don't think
all
the
of the
Endgame
ships
scene's
start
cringe
arriving
at
at the
all.
same time are a little
Nah,
cringe.
nah. I don't think
Okay,
the
can
Endgame
I
scene's
just
cringe at
finish-
all.
can I
The
just finish
Endgame
with this
scene,
point?
I thought was a perfect culmination of like 10 years, right? Like every single hero. That
Yeah,
they're
no, you're
building up
right.
Towards,
You're right,
Every
but
single
that
thing.
doesn't
I
mean-
thought that was like amazing, right?
No,
'Cause
you're
I completely
completely
forgot.
right. You're completely right.
You also
but it
completely
was a
forget
little
about the
cringe.
fact, like, hey, like, aren't the people that got snapped supposed to come back? Like, shouldn't they be helping?
Mhm.
Like, you completely forget about that idea, and then
'Cause
boom.
they get nuked from orbit.
I think he's comparing the ending as a whole of Endgame to the ending of
No, I'm not
Star
comparing
Wars,
it.
because
I'm talking about the
you
ending
said it's
of
a little
whole.
bit.
I'm talking about the
cringe.
portal scene.
There's
I'm
lots
talking
of
about the
cringe.
portal scene.
You're talking about just the.
I'm
portal
talking
scene.
about the portal
No,
scene.
I think the
It was a
Endgame
little
portal
cringe.
scene is done perfectly for the series because you know.
No,
Cap-
again, I think it was done really well. Doesn't mean it's not cringe though.
I feel like
I
Luke's-
don't think it's
I don't
cringe.
understand his. I don't.
If it's
understand
done well,
how
it can't be
can
cringe.
Done
I
well.
don't think
exactly.
It
that
definitely
works.
can be. It definitely
No.
can be. It
Oh
definitely
my
can
God,
be.
Luke!
He thinks that
Oh my
he
It
God,
was
thinks
Luke, you're
camp
so
fine.
smart.
Listen, fine. It was campy. It was campy.
No, I think the better thing to say is it adheres to genre expectations and story beats that are all usually given, but it did it well.
Which makes it campy and cringe, a little bit.
No, it just makes
But
it
the
like,
genre expectations are a little
unoriginal, which
campy
is
/
fine.
cringe.
because that's not what I don't expect.
No, again, I do
Avengers-
think it was a good scene. I still kind of cringed
But
a
it
little bit
can't
as
be
it happened.
cringy. That's like saying, "Oh my God, Luke's such
It
an
definitely
enjoyable
can
guy,"
be.
Saying-
but he makes me cringe all the time. Every time I'm with him. But
Are
he's
you
an
telling me
enjoyable
that
guy
I'm-
that I like hanging out with.
You,
But he's
Naimur,
cringe.
that's I'm fairly sure that's actually what you think of me.
No, not even remotely. See, that doesn't even make any sense.
I'm
How
not
can
saying
I
that as
enjoy
an
talking
insult,
to you and have
as an insult to
cringiness?
myself.
No,
Dana,
I'm
what
not-
were you
I'm
going to
just
say?
saying.
Dana was starting to agree with me a little bit, or at least understand.
That's
what I
why
was
you want
saying.
me to interject.
Daniel,
That's
know
why-
your
Yes.
sides, okay? Know your sides.
Okay, look, I'm not on either side, but I understand what he's
Shut
saying.
up.
Sometimes when you hit a story beat so like perfectly, where it's like, oh, it all perfectly aligns, it's almost like, oh,
Exactly.
go in into a corner and yourself off. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
maybe like
so-
when you're thinking back on it, sure, I'll give you that benefit of the doubt. But watching it, no. Which I think is the main
Oh no!
thing.
Like
that
in the
matters.
moment, I was like, "Oh wow! Like this is
Yeah.
powerful.
Not Luke though.
Again,
Luke
it
watching
was a-
He was like on your left. And he was like, "Oh my god, we're doing this now." Cross his arms.
So, again, it was a
screaming.
powerful
Everybody's
moment.
screaming in excitement, and Luke's just like,
And Luke's like,
This
"This
is so
is the
cringe, man.
worst.
"This is so
I'm
cringe,
leaving
man.
now."
This is so cringe."
Again,
Oh my God.
it
I
was
bet
a
when-
very powerful moment, but it was a little
I
cringe.
bet when Tony Stark was
And
like,
also-
"And I am Iron Man," you're like, Of course."
Well, I was
So
actually gonna say,
cringe.
you know, the deleted scene where like everybody kneels after Tony Stark dies. That's a similar thing. Even though
No.
I'm not even sure if that would be
If a moment
very
is
powerful.
cringe, it's the freaking Spider-Man one. It's because they were like, "Oh my god!" Like Tony and Peter. Remember when Peter was about to like get like, disappear or whatever in Endgame or in
Yes.
Infinity War? It's like, wow, that was such a powerful scene. Like that was so good. And I guess it was like natural because it was like improvised initially. They're like, "Let's do that again. Let's catch lightning in a bottle twice." And
Yeah.
so basically when they did that, when he's like, "Mr. Stark, we won. It's like, bro, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
shut up.
See,
Well,
I
we
didn't
talked
mind
about
that.
the cringe
The-
parts of the end.
I've talked
I
about
thought
this.
that
but
was
or
cringe.
just
I thought that was
mentioned it.
very cringe. Because then Pepper is basically like pulling him away. He's like, "Yo, let me like talk to my husband, please." It's like, you know what I mean? But that part's cringe. I'll give you that.
I don't
Like,
think
I
that's
don't
very
think
cringe. I'm talking about. Have y'all seen the deleted scene where they all just kneel after Captain America, Iron Man died? Have y'all
No.
seen that? You haven't seen it? Basically, everybody after Iron Man dies, everybody kneels. Just everyone kneels, like out of
Wow.
respect, right?
Okay, racist.
But that's a little
Just say
cringy.
you're racist.
That's a little
Just say you're
cringe.
racist.
That's a little cringe. Shut up.
I'm just curious. Do I need to put a spoilers for Rise of Skywalker and?
I don't think they care anymore. You know
Endgame?
what I mean? I think it's like it's at the level now where it's like the Luke, I am your father, which is ironically from Star Wars thing, right? It's like
and my
what?
name, and that's my name.
What? Like what? I was gonna watch that
Can I
movie.
just can I finish out with the point I was making at the very beginning of this conversation, which was
No.
one of the coolest things I've seen in theaters is the end of Rise of Skywalker. It was so exciting and invigorating while watching it. Just like my favorite scene, I just have to talk
Bro,
about it, is
our
when
audience was
Palpatine is
dead,
shooting
so, like, I don't know.
lightning into the sky, and it's literally hitting every single ship, and it's like this like slow motion, and it's I don't even know. It was just
You know
so,
what
like,
scene in the Rise of
horrifying
Skywalker that I
and-
thought was fantastic? When Rey goes to Tatooine, and then the old woman's like, "What's your name?" And she says Rey, and then the old woman says, "Rey who?" And then Rey gives a long look to the camera and says, "Rey Star Wars."
Okay, see that
I forgot the
that
part where she
line
looks-
is also super cringe.
No, she doesn't
Yeah.
say Star Wars.
No, she
I
says
say Star Wars.
Skywalker.
Yes.
But Luke said Star Wars as a joke,
Yes.
just to make
Star
sure we
War.
got the joke.
Star Wars.
Rey Star Wars.
No, I like the idea though that it's like horribly over. It's horribly dubbed in, so it's Rey Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, our audience.
See,
was,
I
like,
don't really
dead.
think.
'Cause
I don't really
me,
think that
Luke,
scene
and
is cringe.
Joey watched it. It was like a morning showing, so he might have been dead for that reason.
I think. Do
Yeah,
we
and
all
also-
agree that? Do we all agree that Ben should have been the one to survive at the end?
Yeah.
Maybe
It just made more
I don't know.
I think
sense.
so.
His character arc wise, and
Well,
like
like both
also
of them
she didn't
could
even want to
have
be part of.
survived. Also, didn't
Yeah.
she try to heal him? Like, did they both heal each other?
Yes, there was a
No.
there was a double. There was a heal.
Honestly,
heal.
I think how they should have made the show.
there was a
made it
heal
end.
and then another heal.
You know how I think it should have ended was he heals her, then he dies, but then she heals him and he survives. She dies, and then it's just
And it's just
that.
an infinite loop.
It keeps doing that for like
It's
20
an
minutes and
infinite
then
loop.
the end, and that's it.
And then the end
No, but
credit
honestly-
scene is them super old, and they're like, ugh, and they're
No,
healing.
they
you,
wouldn't be old though,
no,
because they keep on. They wouldn't be old because they keep on
you're
healing
right.
themselves.
No,
They'd just be
this
the
is how they
exact
live
same
their
age
lives
for
now.
hundreds
They
of
just
thousands
walk
of
day
years.
to
They never
day.
age.
Yeah, they walk day to day,
Yeah, they
just
never age.
continuing to do that. It's like they're like going
Yeah.
some like cafe in Tatooine, and they're just like continually doing that. It's
To
like,
justify why I said I think Ben Solo should have survived over Rey,
It's because he's a man.
He had such a good arc.
yeah, he did
You
have
know
a
what I
good
mean?
arc.
Like
He
this,
really
like
did.
bad guy becomes like realizes he doesn't have to be the bad guy. You know, whatever it is. He's taking back his edgelord.
Like I said,
personality.
I loved those movies,
Um,
but he carried it. He
Best-
carried the movies.
I'll beg to differ because you know what the best scene in Star Wars is.
The Outback
in my
Steakhouse?
opinion, the best scene
Outback
in the
Steakhouse?
sequels. No, the best scene in the Star Wars trilogy,
Huh?
or the sequel trilogy. The best scene.
You see Outback
was
Steakhouse?
when Luke Skywalker milked that thing.
when he was drinking its nipple or out of its nipple.
Yeah. No, he was.
Yeah,
He
you took
was,
my joke, bro. You took my joke.
Dang
took
it.
it.
I'm sorry.
You actually took the joke.
You
Hey
could have
guys,
done this.
after this.
You could have done the scene with the porgs where they're standing on his lightsaber, and it looks like they're about to get like penetrated by it. You know what I mean?
The best scene was when an Asian person was in the movie for longer than like 10 minutes, and then the fans
And then
cried
everyone
out
hated on
how
her.
bad it was, and
Yeah.
then they just didn't include her for the rest of the year or the next movie.
Hey
Well,
guys, after
she
this, y'all want to hit up Outback Steakhouse?
No, I don't.
Which movie was it that
It's
had
too
the
cringe.
casino
You sure?
scene?
It was in
Which
in
movie?
two, in
was in two?
In which
Last
one?
Jedi. Last Jedi.
I just
What
didn't
was
like
the scene, Daniel?
The casino
casino.
one.
Oh yeah,
I
that
liked
was
it. I
Last
thought the
Jedi.
casino was fun. I liked
I
their
thought
little
it
like.
was fine.
I liked their little
The
hijinks
casino. I think the casino, like the setting was cool, and the hijinks like idea was cool, but I just felt like it was so distant from the plot. I
then
wanted
the
to be
whole, like-
focusing on.
And then the whole like I'm the spy. Like yeah, sure, it wasn't earned, but like I thought that was fun because I like that character. He's like it's pretty interesting.
Benicio del Toro's.
No, the dude that's like I'm the spy, Donald Gleason.
Donald
The
Gleason.
guy
talking
with
about?
the red hair.
Yeah, the red haired dude.
Ooh, yeah.
We thought we were still
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
the
yeah,
casino
yeah.
scene where the guy.
I thought you were still talking about the casino screen scene.
No, but yeah, that dude was pretty. Chill.
Yeah.
Or was that in the third one? I don't know.
That's in the third one. That's in the third
Oh,
one.
it's
Yes.
in the
Think about-
third
The one
one.
with
the
Donald
second
Gleason
one,
is in the third
second
one. Yeah.
one, it's the guy who
Benicio
helps
del
them because
Toro.
he's a
Yeah.
spy, but then he works for whoever pays him more, and it turns out the Imperials pay him more, so he.
And he
locks
also
up
had
the
a
others.
stroke probably because his like half of his face is all messed up.
Bro.
I don't
Don't
remember
be so
that.
mean.
I don't
But
remember
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, but
He's
it's
a hero.
not actually him. It's the character.
Okay, I guess.
I don't
Maybe
think
that
that
makes
makes
her
sense.
hasn't
Are
had
you,
a stroke.
are you being serious? I can't tell if
Yes, like half of his face is limp.
his
How do you
his
do that?
character or his
His
actor?
character. His character.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they CGI'd
You
it.
will.
Speaking of which,
Yeah,
are we gonna watch the
probably.
Justice League Snyder cut tonight?
Dude, I don't know, man.
Tonight?
That's I'm not even kidding. Watching that is so daunting
do
to
we-
me.
I will
Yeah.
never
I don't want
watch
to
it.
spend 4 hours watching
Like
that
unlike
shit.
unlike an Avengers movie,
Stuff,
like I will
stuff.
happily watch a 4-hour Avenger movie, or just any Marvel movie that's 4 hours long. Actually, maybe not any
Yeah.
movie that's or any Marvel movie.
But it's different because the Marvel movies are like fun.
yeah,
They
You
just
know.
do
This one
action.
does
I think Marvel does action better.
Yeah.
honestly,
enough.
but I will give it to them. The original Justice League, like I guess the Whedon cut, is pretty entertaining. Like it's
Mhm.
like a decent amount of time. It's only like maybe 2 hours max. And it's like
Well,
a genuinely
I also
interesting
think-
movie to watch.
I think Wonder Woman, the original, is really
Okay, Wonder Woman's like great though.
Oh my
A
god.
Yeah.
great
the
movie,
sequel.
yeah.
The
But
sequel.
the sequel
is so
how did they mess
bad.
that up so bad?
It's awful.
We've talked.
It's
We've
'cause
already
of,
talked
like,
about it. We can't
It's
talk about it
because they had to
again.
kill off Stephen Trevor in the first movie.
No, it's
So
because
how do
a
you bring
woman
him back?
directed it. Just
Didn't a
kidding.
woman direct it the
joking.
first time too?
Yes, I was kidding. That was the joke namer. Is that I don't know anything.
Listen, Luke. We gotta talk about
Listen,
this
January.
internalized misogyny. Well, I guess not internalized. I think it's just
It's
misogyny.
not internalized.
It's externalized
not
misogyny.
We gotta talk about that, Luke. See me after class, okay?
Namer, I think you know what I think you need to talk about to me about. Listen.
No, I don't even know where this is going, and I don't want to.
Namer, when I came to you and told you that I had been by my priest.
No.
You
no,
told
we're
me-
stopping this.
you
We're
told me to
stopping
go
this.
home.
Have you seen
Sorry,
Spotlight?
I didn't.
Have you
Sorry,
guys seen
I
Spotlight?
forgot. I forgot how to describe it.
Spotlight.
Sorry, I meant prayed
Oh, you
with
guys-
my priest.
You haven't seen Spotlight,
Prayed
both of
with.
you?
Then why did you say bye?
You guys, both of you have not seen Spotlight.
with
That's
by?
sad because. Yeah,
What is it
it's-
about, Namer?
It's about. It's a true story.
Namer?
It's about the Boston.
There's a man behind you.
No, there's a. Don't even say that, dude. Yeah. No, but
You saw the panic in his eyes.
it's like the Boston Globe. Is that the newspaper? I don't know. It's basically like a team of journalists.
Boston
Like
Bombings?
basically. No, stop.
Will
You're
you
like
let
an
him finish?
You're an anti anything. You just destroy life around you. Just
Like a
you're dark
bomb.
matter that just sucks up
He's a
everything.
power vacuum, but for just progression of anything.
Yeah.
You know why they call me the vacuum cleaner?
No, I don't know. And you know what? I don't want to know. So let's stop.
Yeah, Luke. Once again, detracting from the conversation. Oh my god.
I don't know. Anyway, it's just a movie about a journalism team
Oh.
that basically exposes the whole priest molestation stuff that's been happening. So it's basically, that joke that Luke makes? They're the reason why that joke is now a joke, because now people know about it so much, about how popular it is. They're making a face. I don't know what they're doing. They look like Ronald Reagan. Is that a Ronald Reagan
Sorry.
face? I can't even tell.
What? You thought I was making a Ronald Reagan face?
No, Luke
was
looks
making
like he's
the-
making a Ronald Reagan face.
I did not sell those weapons to the Iranians. Okay, that was
That's not how he sounds. That sounds more like that sounds
know
more
what
like
that
W.
was.
Bush than it does Ronald Reagan.
And that's
I don't
saying a
know what
lot
those
because
was.
that didn't sound anything like W.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that was.
Sounded like
That was just
it sounded like
Also,
W.
it-
Bush.
It
trying
was
to be
combined
Bill
with the
Clinton.
whole. Exactly. I was gonna say it sounded like Bill Clinton there for a second, where it's like I did not have.
sell the weapons to the Iranians. Again, wrong accent entirely.
Nah, my favorite
However-
part was when what's his face? When Obama was like, "Hey, what do you know? I was born in America." Perfect.
I
what
love
Obama
that.
said.
I love that TikTok like that TikTok just trend so much, where it's like I do such a killer impression of C-3PO from Star Wars. You guys want to hear it? Okay, here we go. Hey, it's me. It's a C-3PO, and I'm it's just like this horrible like Boston accent every time.
Yeah. Changing topics a little. I
Hey, look,
finished
I'm gonna
Breaking
wait.
Bad.
Hold on.
We
Real
have
quick,
10
real
minutes.
quick,
Wait.
real
What?
quick. I'm gonna imitate Naimur right now. Wouldn't it be funny if Daniel edited Naimur's voice on top of, like, muted what I'm saying right now, then edited Naimur's voice on top of it?
In other
should
words,
be hurt.
just cut. Just cut the
I hope-
content. Just
I
cut
hope
to the
one
next
day-
time Namer talks.
Look, I hope one day you're hate crimed. Not for race or any reason that you can't control, but for your personality. Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you
isn't
for
it
coming
not
to
a
my
hate
TED
crime?
Talk.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
that's what I
then
wanted
not
to
a hate
say.
crime? Wouldn't it just be a crime?
No, because they hate you, so it's a hate crime.
So we have.
Is
we
that a
have,
hate
like,
crime?
So we have like 9 minutes. Okay, we're gonna stop the conversation
Final
about hate
part.
crimes. We have 9 minutes.
Final
What do we wanna
part
talk about?
though.
Something
Yeah.
entertaining.
So I was Breaking Bad, then I watched El Camino. Great movie. It's a generally good movie.
It
I
is.
liked
It
a
was
lot.
genuine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've seen it?
Yeah. Well, I knew what happened, but even watching it, it's a really good movie.
It is good.
Yeah,
is,
I liked it a lot.
is.
I was like hesitant. I was like, oh.
surprising. Yeah, surprising for a film that has come out so much longer after the finale. And
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of some parts kind of take away where you could tell Jesse's clearly chubbier now, or like Aaron
Mhm.
Paul's clearly chubbier now than when
It's
he
not
was
the
when
same.
he
Yeah,
did the
he's
show.
not the same.
So when they do the
Yeah.
flashbacks, he clearly doesn't look like past Jesse. Same thing with Todd. Todd literally looks nothing like the past him, because like he's gained a bunch of weight since. It's still a great
Hey.
movie. I liked it a lot.
Don't fat shame.
Hey, we don't fat
fat
shame
shame.
here. I mean,
Well,
We
I'm
don't
fat,
fat
so
shame
I'm allowed to
people
do
here.
it. I'm allowed to do that. But yeah, it's a
Okay,
generally
look.
great
If
movie.
anyone here is fat, if anyone here is fat, it's your guitar.
it's
Anyway.
the man standing behind you.
So
Okay.
afterwards,
ahead.
start watching Better Call Saul. I'm on season 3. I'm like halfway done with season 3 now.
What?
Also,
How do you have
interesting
so much time on your hands?
I'm
Do you
fucking
do
being
nothing in
that
your
serious.
I'm
life?
honest.
in college.
How are you productive?
It's
How are
called.
you productive?
It's called going to
How are you
Chick-fil-A
productive?
and then watching an episode for lunch and then putting it on in the background while you do
How
That's
homework.
an
It's
hour.
productive.
That's still an hour.
It's like 45 minutes. Excuse
What do you?
Okay.
When do you do homework? And also, how many hours
Throughout the day.
of sleep do you get every night?
Throughout the day. It's not that hard. You make it sound like it's
How
like
many
hard
hours
to
of
binge a
sleep do
show.
you get?
Like 6, 7, 8, 9,
That's
10.
barely
Depends.
enough.
Depends if
Dude,
I have a
they
9
only
a.m.
like
or
at
not.
12
6
every
to
night.
10.
They only like
Yeah,
at 12 every
maybe
night.
that's the problem.
Depends if
We're
I have a
getting
9
12
a.m. or
hours
not.
every night.
If I have a 9 a.m., then I get like maybe like 5 or 6.
Well,
Then-
Namer, I have a 7 a.m. class every day, and I still get my daily 12 hours of sleep.
Why are you bragging? It's sad. Just
My
die.
daily.
Like
I
I would
mean,
just die
okay,
then.
first
if
of
that was
all,
me.
I just want to point out that if somebody actually
Okay.
gets 12 hours of sleep a day, they would literally be sleeping for half their life. Like
Yeah.
half their living existence would be sleeping.
Like even babies don't
Dude.
sleep as much as you do. And then
Dude, I sleep as much as me.
they sleep like 18 hours a day, right?
Babies?
I don't know. I wish they
Yeah.
would, but I feel like they probably don't.
Dude,
What do you mean? I wish they would, bro. You're not a dad. Like, oh, I really wish.
I know. I'm saying that as if I have a child.
Babies, am I right, fellas? Am I right, fellas? Why don't they go to sleep? Am I right, fellas?
I'm just
Neighbor, how are the
dad
kids?
mentality.
How are the kids?
How are the kids? Gabagool.
How are the kids?
Yo.
Gabagool.
Oh, what age
I'm gonna
are they?
make them an offer. I'm gonna make an
watch
offer
out for
you can't
those
refuse.
two. Watch out for those
them
two.
I'm
You
gonna
can't
make an
refuse.
offer. Are you gonna make an offer on
I'm
my
gonna make an
children?
offer you can't refuse.
Better Call Saul's. It's really interesting. It's weird though, because Better
It's
Call Saul.
fun.
If
It's
I
an
watched
entertaining
it,
show.
if I watched it weekly, like when it came out, like the first season, I'd be so bored, because there's no draw into it, like from week to week, honestly. And like me and my roommate were talking about it, it's like the Mike storyline is so much more interesting than the Saul storyline. Like genuinely, it's so much more. Well, except for the part that now Saul's arrested, which is not a spoiler because the trailer on Netflix shows him in the courtroom in like prison garb. So it's not technically a spoiler. Which I don't know how far you are, Daniel.
Not that far. Like maybe I started season 3 or I was at the end of season 2.
Are we still talking
Yeah.
about Justice League?
Yes.
Luke hasn't been paying attention to the conversation for the past 6 minutes.
I hear the season 4 and 5 are really good. Season 5's not on Netflix yet. But season 4, once Lalo comes in, like I heard it's like really, really good. So I'm excited. Kinda. I'm not really that enthused, honestly.
Facts.
Because Chuck is so annoying. Like I don't understand why he hates Saul so much. I generally don't. Or Jimmy. Chuck is Jimmy's brother.
Miguel.
Like I generally don't understand why he hates Jimmy
Oh
so
wait,
much.
who's Chuck again?
He's Jimmy's brother.
My brother.
Saul's brother.
My
It
brother.
is okay. Yeah. Luke, you're like basically not contributing, but that's okay. We love you either way.
I don't.
Luke's
know
a
if me.
walking non-contribution factor.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, dude. I've never heard
Look,
of that before.
You
Doesn't
know,
matter.
I'm
If you-
used
if
to-
you walk somewhere. He just
Namer,
doesn't
whenever I
contribute.
bring up something that interests me, you always shut me down. So I'm just gonna not contribute to anything. So
But you've been doing it this whole episode. That's the difference.
exactly. You do it to me every time we record an episode.
Yes. Well, if you must know, it's because I hate Irish people. I'm
Yeah,
racist.
I know.
It's fine. I
Luke,
finally got it out
earlier
there.
when he
Finally got it out
said
there.
earlier when he said he hopes somebody commits a hate crime against you, he was actually just projecting.
Yeah, it's gonna be me.
Wait, he hopes someone commits a hate crime
No,
on
it's
him.
not. Imagine if I say, Luke, you're gonna get hate crime, and it's gonna be from me, and then the next week you get
And
hate
then the
crime.
next day he
No.
gets like hate crime. Oh my god.
Not if I hate crime you
Okay.
first, mister.
It's a hate crime competition.
I love how the walking gag now is who can be more racist, me or Luke. Like, that's the thing. It's like we're both racist
Yeah.
towards each other.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Luke. What in this podcast though did I demean you in?
Not in this one. But whenever I talk about the Expanse, or when I tried to talk about Fallout
Bro, it's been
76,
great,
we
But
shut
the
me down.
Expanse is just a running gag.
Yeah, that's like the gag. It's like
The
every
gag
Yeah, but
is
I've
that
never.
we just
I've
make-
also talked about it maybe twice on this podcast, and Namer
I
stopped
think-
me from talking about it both
I
times.
think the reason we might cut you off on that is just because we have next to nothing to add. Like at least with some of these topics.
well,
we
you and
can,
I
like-
don't, or didn't. You and I didn't have anything to add about Mad Men.
Sure,
That is
but
true. That
so
is
then
true.
that's
That's
why I would say okay, Namer, you can talk about it for a little bit and then cut off. Okay, when I watch the show
Okay,
or when
but
we
I-
all watch the show.
but I
we can
didn't-
talk about it.
I didn't get a chance to talk about anything at all.
Yeah, but like the thing is,
I said
though,
the words.
is
I said the words.
the reason why
and then
I
you
do
told me
it
to
is
shut up.
because the running gag is that you won't watch anything I recommend unless Daniel watches The Expanse, right? And he watched it, didn't like it, and then I don't know anything about the show. I'm sure the show's fine, but honestly, like to me, it's funnier to just on it, crap on it.
Now that just
Hey!
because I didn't like the first season.
Listen, why do you can't curse like that?
Aw,
It's good.
dang
We'll
it.
CGI it in post. It'll be fine. We'll be okay.
Dang
We'll be
it.
fine. I just
I have
think
to
CGI.
edit the podcast?
I think,
Gosh darn it.
I think Luke.
That
I'm sorry.
freaking sucks.
I know.
It's fine.
that
I don't
this is-
actually mind.
No,
I don't actually mind. It's just something.
I really am sorry. Like, in fact, Luke, let's talk about
I think
it.
he just spit at you. In fact, Luke, here.
Luke, no, Luke, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Huh?
Let's talk about the
Let's-
Expanse.
let's talk this
Generally,
out.
talk about something about the Expanse. I actually genuinely want to know. Just something. Let's talk about the
Genuinely?
Expanse. Yeah.
I'm fine.
When's the new book come
No,
out?
no. Let's talk about the Expanse. though.
September.
Like, I'm not even joking. Let's talk about something about why do you like the Expanse?
am
Because
joking.
we have time at the end of this.
let's talk
But
about the
Luke,
Expanse,
this
though.
is
Like, actually,
okay. Luke,
I
I'm just
want
letting
you
you
to
know
talk
this
about
is
it.
your one opportunity to talk about it. So
I know
finish
it's my
this
one
podcast up.
opportunity, and I'm not going to do it out of
You're not
spite.
gonna end the. This
No,
is the way
spite.
we.
Luke,
This.
please,
Oh my
just talk
god.
about
out
the
of
Expanse.
spite.
To
No,
end the
Luke.
bit,
Never.
he's going to reverse psychology us into
Please,
not
please,
wanting to.
genuinely, please talk about the Expanse right now.
Listen,
I mean,
No, Luke, just
Naimur,
talk about something.
You
about
know
the
this
Expanse.
about me. You know this about me. I am the most spiteful creature to live on this
Okay,
planet.
I understand that.
Okay, Naimur.
Do it out of
Here's the
spite.
issue,
Just
Naimur.
talk about the Expanse for me,
Naimur.
please. We have. Let's talk
Naimur.
about it. No,
Naimur.
let's talk about it. I want him to talk
Daniel?
about it.
I know. Can you hear me?
No, Luke, talk about it.
Telling
please.
Luke
For,
to
like,
talk about it is like the same thing about like when somebody's doing the dishes and then you ask them, "Hey, can you do the dishes?" And then they're like, and then they just turn to you and then they set the dish down and then they're like, "Now I don't want to do this," and then they just
Okay.
walk away.
Luke, what is the
Exactly.
Expanse about? Can you actually tell me that?
Listen, it's about space. It's about space, and when
And we're
I
out of time, guys.
walk
We already reached an
into
hour.
space-
Thank you so much
and when
for
I walk-
watching.
I would-
I'm so glad to hear from you guys.
God. All right.
Sorry,
thank you
Luke. We
guys.
just didn't have enough
That's
time.
really
to talk
funny.
about it. Maybe next time, though. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time,
Oh
though.
my
Thank you guys so much for
God.
watching. We'll see you some other time. I don't know when. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.